After working 2 jobs to help pay my brother's college tuition, I watched him stand up at graduation and thank everyone who believed in me except the freeloaders who tried to hold me back. Everyone cheered while I sat in the bleachers feeling like I couldn't breathe. 2 years later, he was the one leaving voicemails, begging for a loan to keep his business from collapsing. This still eats at me, and I don't think it'll ever stop. I've kept this in for a long time, but lately I wake up in the middle of the night, heart racing, thinking about it. Maybe if I write it down, I can breathe a little easier. Maybe. So here it is. I'm the older brother. Grew up in Dayton, Ohio. We didn't have much, and I'm not saying that for sympathy. That's just how it was. Our dad bailed when I was 10, said he had other plans. Never came back. Mom worked nights as a nurse, barely home except to eat and pass out on the couch. That left me and my little brother, Drew. I was 13 when it really sunk in, it was just us. I looked after him like he was mine. I helped with his homework when he was in 3rd grade, even though I barely understood it myself. I taught him how to tie his shoes. I showed him how to ride a bike and how to hide a busted lip from mom when the neighborhood kids got too rough. I was there. Always. When I finished high school, there was no college for me. I didn't even apply. Mom was behind on bills and her health was going downhill fast. She'd cough so hard she couldn't stand. I got a job at a warehouse loading trucks. Then picked up nights at a gas station. 2 jobs. 6 days a week. I wasn't saving for anything fancy, just rent, food, and whatever Drew needed. Drew was the smart one. He had dreams, always talked about starting his own business someday. He worked hard too. Good grades, scholarships, but it was never quite enough. He got into University of Cincinnati, business school. Proud day for all of us. First in the family to make it that far. He needed help covering tuition gaps, books, housing. I gave what I had. And when it wasn't enough, I co-signed a private student loan under my name. My credit, my responsibility. I told him not to worry about it. I told him to focus on graduating. He lived rent-free at home for 2 summers. Ate the food I bought, used my old laptop to do his coursework, took my beat-up Toyota when his broke down. I didn't care. I was proud of him. I really was. Fast forward 4 years. It's his graduation day. I begged my supervisor to give me the day off. Lost a full day's pay for it. Drove to Cincinnati with Mom, her oxygen tank in the back seat. She was barely mobile by then, but she insisted on going. We sat up in the bleachers. I held her hand. Watched my brother in that cap and gown, standing tall with that stupid honor cord around his neck. He looked sharp, confident. Like someone with a future. Then he got called up to give a speech. They picked him as one of the student voices, or whatever. I remember fumbling with my phone, trying to get a good video. I wanted to send it to aunts and cousins who couldn't make it. He starts talking about obstacles and dreams, hard work and support systems. Then he looks up, smiles, and says, "I want to thank everyone who believed in me. My professors, my friends, my mentors, and especially those who lifted me up, not the freeloaders who tried to hold me back." People clapped. Some laughed. A few stood and cheered. I just sat there. Frozen. I felt Mom squeeze my hand, but I couldn't even look at her. My ears were ringing. Freeloader. That's what I was to him. After everything. After the ceremony, I didn't say much. Just drove us back home. Mom said maybe he didn't mean it like that. Maybe he was just nervous and said the wrong thing. I nodded, but I knew better. A few days later, I called him. Told him I wanted to talk. In person. He showed up with his new girlfriend, didn't even ask how mom was doing. I told him straight, "Was that line in your speech about me?" He didn't deny it. Didn't apologize either. He said, "You've been stuck in Dayton your whole life. That's not ambition. That's fear." I had to leave that behind. I had to cut off the people who didn't push me forward. I laughed. I actually laughed. "You mean the people who paid your rent and fed you while you chased your dreams? You helped," he said. "But you didn't believe in me. You just wanted to keep me small, like you." I asked him to leave. We didn't talk again for 2 years. After that day, I made peace with it the best I could. Or I told myself I did. I stopped checking his Facebook. I deleted the graduation video off my phone. And when the student loan company started sending late notices because, surprise, he wasn't making the payments, I ignored them. I was tired. Tired of fighting for someone who had already left me behind. Mom passed away 9 months later. Her lungs gave out. Hospitals said they did everything they could. Drew didn't come. He didn't even call. Just sent a short message through Instagram. "Sorry to hear about mom. Busy with expansion. Hope you're okay." That message burned into my screen. Expansion. Like his life was taking off while ours was falling apart. I handled everything. The funeral, the bills, clearing out the house. I sold it for just enough to cover what mom still owed on it. We had nothing left. And Drew? He was posing on LinkedIn, shaking hands with investors and calling himself founder and CEO. I didn't reach out. Not even when the collection agency started calling me for the loan he defaulted on. I just worked more hours. Took side gigs. Drove for Uber. Delivered pizza. I wasn't going to let his mess drown me too. Then the calls started. I was sitting in my truck after a shift when I saw his name light up my phone. I let it ring. Then the voicemail, "Hey, man. I know it's been a while. Listen, I'm in a rough spot. The business is bleeding money. I need some help, just a small loan, temporary. I'll pay you back." I didn't respond. Next day, another voicemail. This time, his voice cracked, "Please. I just need to make payroll this week. The next round of funding's right around the corner. I swear to God, you'll get it back, every cent." Then texts. Then emails. Then he showed up in Dayton. Unannounced. He waited in the parking lot of the gas station where I still worked nights. Looked like he hadn't slept in days. Eyes sunken, shirt untucked. I walked out back for a smoke and there he was, leaning against my truck like the world owed him something. "Hey," he said, soft. "Can we talk?" I didn't answer. Just stared at him. "I messed up," he said. "I know. I was trying to build something. But I burned bridges. I was stupid. I lost control. I'm sorry." I stayed quiet. He kept going. "I just need 20 grand. That's it. Just enough to keep the lights on until our next pitch. You helped me once before, please." I let him finish. Then I said, "I don't have 20 grand. And even if I did, I wouldn't give you a dime." His jaw clenched. "I'm not asking for a handout. It's a loan." "You already got your loan," I said. "It's sitting in collections. Under my name." He stepped forward. "I'll fix it. I promise. I just need a chance." I laughed. "You needed a chance? You got 4 years of chances. Free food, free rent, free rides. You needed support? I gave you everything. And you stood in front of a crowd and called me a freeloader." He went quiet. Then he said something I'll never forget. "You always resented me for making it out." I took a step closer. "You didn't make it out. You just went somewhere else and turned into someone I don't recognize." I got in my truck and drove away. Didn't look back. But Drew didn't let it go. Not this time. A week later, I started getting weird looks at work. My boss called me in, said someone had accused me of harassing them online. Anonymous tip. Then I found out from a friend that Drew was telling people in Dayton I had a gambling problem, that I was unstable, that I'd threatened him. He wanted to ruin me. And that's when I stopped just ignoring him. That's when I started planning. I didn't go after him with fists. That would have been too easy and too fast. I wanted something that would leave a mark. Something he'd feel for a long time. I wanted him to learn what it meant to burn bridges you thought you'd never need again. I started with the loan. Since my name was on it, I still had rights. I called the lender and told them I wanted to assume full responsibility for the remaining balance. It was a big risk, but I figured if I was going to carry the weight, I might as well use it. The rep paused and asked, "Are you aware that doing so gives you access to all financial history tied to the account?" "Yes," I said. "That's exactly why I'm calling." A week later, I had every detail. Payment history. Missed deadlines. Interest spikes. Even notes from when Drew had called to stall or lie. I went through it line by line. I started building a timeline of every screw-up. Every unpaid month. Every time he bought himself time with another fake excuse. Next, I started digging into his startup. I found the company's website. Flashy. Full of buzzwords and fake quotes from clients. I checked their listed investors. A couple real ones, but most were private parties, people he probably met through alumni groups or networking mixers. Easy marks. One of them had a full LinkedIn page with contact info. So I created a fake email account under a generic name. Sent a polite message. "I'm a concerned former lender. You might want to do a little due diligence on your partner. Attached are some documents you may find relevant." I attached 3 PDFs, the loan history with my name and his, showing default status. Screenshots of his social media posts bragging about how he bootstrapped everything himself. A copy of the graduation speech transcript. I sent that same email to every investor I could find. Within days, Drew's business page went quiet. No more posts. No more rooftop selfies. Then his company's domain started redirecting to an error page. But he still didn't stop. A week later, I found my tires slashed outside the gas station. Cops said they couldn't prove anything, but I knew. Only one person hated me that much. So I pushed harder. I knew he still had unpaid debts. I found the vendor he owed for an old app prototype. A freelance coder in Pittsburgh. I reached out and told him where to file small claims paperwork, even sent him screenshots showing Drew's known address and current vehicle tag. 2 weeks later, Drew got served at his cheap apartment. And just when I thought it was done, just when I thought he'd crawl back into the hole he dug, he showed up at my door again. This time, he looked different. No suit. No begging. Just angry. "You think this is funny?" he said. I didn't answer. "You're destroying my life. Do you feel good about it? You're jealous. That's all this is." I stepped out and stood right in front of him. Close enough to see how bloodshot his eyes were. "No," I said. "I'm not jealous. I'm done letting you hurt people and walk away clean. I warned you. You pissed on everything I gave you, then tried to wreck what little I had left. This is me making sure you never do it to someone else. You're a sad little man," he spat. "You'll always be stuck here." I nodded. "And you'll always be running." Then I shut the door in his face. But I knew it wasn't over. Not yet. Drew didn't go quietly. Not even after the lawsuits. Not after his car got repossessed. Not after the business was officially dissolved by the state for failure to pay fees. He still kept trying to claw his way back up. A few months after that last confrontation, he started a new project, a podcast. From Rock Bottom to Redemption. I heard about it through a mutual friend. He spun the story. How toxic people and jealous family had dragged him down, how he was starting fresh and helping others do the same. He asked for donations to support his mission. He got sympathy. He always did. He was good with words. Polished lies. He made himself sound like a victim of small minds and bad luck. He even got picked up by a local online magazine for an inspirational comeback story. That article, that's when I snapped. He used my name. Not directly. But enough. I had to walk away from the people who tried to keep me in their shadow. Family can be your biggest enemy if they're stuck in the past. Some people just hate to see you grow. He ended it by asking for sponsorships for his upcoming coaching program. I stared at the screen for a long time. My hands were shaking. I should have left it. I had already ruined his business, his reputation with investors, even helped take him to court. But I couldn't let it go. Not after that article. So I made one final move. I created a page, nothing fancy. Just facts. Screenshots. Emails. Legal filings. The unpaid loan. The court records. A voice recording of him begging me for money. And the transcript from his graduation speech. I added my own short message at the top. This is who you're trusting with your money and your story. This is what he does to the people who love him. Then I linked it under the comments section of every one of his podcast videos, every donation page, every social media post. I shared it in the same online groups where he was getting sympathy. I didn't hide. I used my full name. The fallout was fast. Sponsors pulled out. Listeners stopped showing up. The online magazine deleted the article. And the donation site froze his account for misuse of funds. He tried to fight back. Posted angry rants. Claimed I was obsessed, unstable, dangerous. But the paper trail was too clear. Every time he lashed out, someone else found the truth and backed away. The podcast died. The coaching idea disappeared. And Drew, he disappeared too. Last I heard, he moved down south. Florida, maybe. Working odd jobs. Off the grid. No more Instagram, no more speeches. Just quiet. Sometimes I wonder if I went too far. I think about Mom, about how proud she was of both of us. I wonder what she'd say if she saw how far I let this go. I didn't just protect myself, I destroyed him. Piece by piece. On purpose. And truth is, I don't feel proud of that. But I don't regret it either. I didn't start this war. He did. All I did was finish it. And when I lie in bed at night, listening to the quiet hum of the fan, I finally feel something I haven't felt in years. Peace. Real, cold peace.